Hello everyone, today I'm going to be sketching a photo from my travels. It's this beautiful little structure from some palace grounds over in South Korea. This sketchbook's a little unwieldy, so first things first, I'm just going to need to kind of reorient things so that I can use it properly. Okay, now that we're set up, we're going to get right into some sketching. So while I'm doing that, just going to set things up quickly, and then we'll get into some watercolor after that. Everyone has their own style for using watercolors. Some people like to go straight into just the paint. Some people like to sketch first. Some people like to go down the pen right away. Personally, I like to lay down a sketch, lighten it up with a kneaded eraser, and then I'll go straight into the watercolor. Not worry too much about where I'm spreading it around, and then I'll finish out with some ink. And like I said, everyone develops their own style naturally. Today I'll be using these 36 set from Diviel, and I will be using a brush from a very cheap Walmart travel set that I like to use. And it's just got its own water, and I don't worry too much about things mixing or muddying. Again, everyone finds their own style. If you prefer to go a much cleaner route, that is entirely your prerogative. But for me, this is what I have found is comfortable. And if you do end up getting one of these travel sets, like I said, it's fantastic for going out and mixing on the go, and I've really come to enjoy traveling and painting while I'm traveling, or sketching while I'm traveling. Really depends on one's personal preferences. So, all right, so that done, get right into the watercolor. I need to try not to spill your water like I just did. One moment. All right. Always best to keep a set of paper towels or tissues on hand. One for just spilled water, but also because they are essential for cleaning up mistakes. So if you just have paper towel on hand, you wet that paper towel a little bit, dab something, practically able to erase mistakes in watercolor if it was that bad. But honestly, I feel like when I'm going about it, I like to incorporate mistakes slightly. Maybe I'll blend them out a little bit, maybe not. But for the most part, I enjoy the little bit of spontaneity from such things. Lighten up the first coat by just adding a little bit of water. Now, I wanted to make this video for a couple of reasons. One, just to highly advocate for the use of your own photographs and your own experiences over those of others when it comes to art. I truly believe that there is a qualitative difference that can be found one's own viewpoint of the world. Everyone is fully entitled to disagree with me. I know there is no correct way to make your own art as long as you are the one experiencing the making. The art, the physical art that comes from the creation process is really a byproduct of the experience. The experience is the real art. What an artist is going through, whether it be turmoil and strife or cathartic release or just exuberant joy. Whatever you're feeling, whatever you're going through, working that through your system by creating something is how you get art. What makes experience. Um, and the fantastic part about that is you get to experience other people's viewpoints. And in the digital world, you get it. That's fantastic how far we've come. There's so much out there, so many references, there's so many useful things. And I fully advocate for using all of that. That's how I became an artist. That's how I started my journey. That's how I learned to do most of the things I know how to do. That said, I always wanted to get out there and experience it for myself. I wanted to get out there and sit down and make something on site, make it real time, right in front of the subject. And I've been lucky enough to actually make that a reality. I've gone to go on trips, experience exactly what I was looking for. What I did not expect was the insane qualitative difference that I felt doing this action. Because when you settle down in a spot to draw, when you find the right lighting, when you take your own photos, changes the meaning, changes the feeling. And the feeling is what makes you an artist, among other things. Combination, nothing. This world isn't at least a little nuanced. So I like to advocate for everyone to go out there and find your own locations, find your own inspirations, sit down, take a photo of anything, anything at all, and you will most likely find that something experience changes. Like it, you may not. That is for each person to figure out on their own. But for me, it extremely and thoroughly inviting. It opened my eyes to a certain part of art that I feel like slowly deteriorated as I grew older. Some sense of fairy book wonder. Um, and that's normal. Things go up and down in life. And though I like to keep my childlike wonder, it is difficult, you know. it is difficult for people to keep a stable mindset as they go through life. Not impossible, but difficult. And I think that when we rediscover parts of the mindset that we had in a previous version of ourselves, we see them in a new light. That wonder that comes with creating your own references is something that I would like to advise others to experience as well.
So I'm just going to get a little bit more of a base layer down, and I'll be right back after that time lapse.
Well, that's about enough. At this point, start to do stuff that's more detailed. I will occasionally just go straight in, not mix as much on a palette, and I'll just take directly from the paint. This does two things for me. I get a consistent color. I go through this, worry too much about remixing, that I'll be getting essentially the same color each time. The other thing it does is that it's going to put in darker details, a little bit more viscosity, paint that I'm laying down. This will also increase the acidity of the paint. A bit easier, especially when you're looking at a smaller detailed piece, which is what I tend to do. And switching between paints also a little easier. I don't have to work too hard cleaning my brush off. You can see it's down fairly dark color without me having cleaned anything off. And that lets me put in little details like this. That part should be a darker shadow. I want a line to pop out a little more. So I'll try to quite as much. And the nice thing about watercolor is that when it goes down layer after layer, if you want to out a bit more, or if you want to add a tinge of something to it, and usually get away with just putting color right on top, not worry too much about anything else. So yeah, I'll just be going through here and adding details like that. Try not to concern myself too highly with varying amounts of opacity or hue or anything like that. If it does concern you, then come back through, always change things. Always something there. Yeah, so I'll be going through and adding these little details. And this was, again, like I said, from the Bur's Palace. So whenever makes it over to Korea, I suggest going. It's a great experience, lots of views, lots of people in joyous moods. Go at the right time. There's not too many tourists, but there will inevitably be tourists, such as yourself. Expect. So continue on with some more of the details, and at a point that I've gotten satisfied, I'll come back in, do a little inking, finish things up. Okay, so I think I had my camera die there for a second. I am going in with just this fine liner. That it's just a 0.2. It's from Graphics. No matter what kind of fine liner you get, they all lend themselves to around the same ability. It's really just about getting something that can lay down a fine line, which is just ensuring that you can make details small enough, essentially. Now, if you don't want to use a fine liner, okay. If you want to use a brush, black ink, black paint, whatever works for you, it's entirely a personal choice. I tend to like these. It kind of lends itself to a rougher, more rustic style. And that is what I am trying to go for today. I don't always go for that style, but it can be nice with the less serious pieces. And I also have things that are already lending themselves to that style. I have fairly rough grain paper. The element that I'm going for today is also already slightly more rustic. We're gonna lean into it will be this rustic look. Like I said, you take watercolor in a lot of directions. Itself to many different styles and modes. Find what suits you. Try it out. Try out others. Learn what you prefer. Probably fits you like. Sweeping motions. Rough style like this suit you. You like detailed work, then maybe you also would like to do fine liners.
Many possible styles with watercolor. All right, so yeah, just getting in some more of these details, and probably gonna go back into a time lapse in a moment, but looking like everything's all coming together, at least in terms of color. So, gonna get some outlines going, darken some things up. All right, so I will see you right after that time lapse.
Okay, well, I think that pretty much brings us to a close. There are small things that might change, but honestly, getting to that point where those little changes don't mean quite as much. So, really, put this pen down and say, thank you for joining me, and I hope that something in this video may have lightened someone or just been fun to watch. Overall, this came out all right, just kind of playing around today, but just a rough sketch, rough, not a sketch, but rough style. So thank you for tuning in, and I will see you all next time.